Today, we're at Bangkok Suvarnabhumi Airport, where I'm going to be reviewing the Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer Lounge prior to my flight from Bangkok to Singapore in February 2025. If you enjoy the video, I'd be extremely grateful if you'd like and subscribe. Thank you. The Singapore Airlines Lounge is located near gate D6 on the departure side. You just turn off to the right and you will see the entrance, where you'll be welcomed by 2 or more friendly Singapore Airlines staff. When I arrived, the lounge was a little bit quiet, but I got a table over in this side area, which was quite private and not too busy. It was also just around the corner from the food, so quite convenient. Having secured my table, I decided to head over to the food section and take a look at what was available. On offer was a spicy Thai salad, some small sandwiches. They also had a special Singapore chicken rice section featuring Singapore's signature dish. It may sound plain rice and plain chicken with some condiments on the side, but you'll have to trust me, it's so much better than it sounds. Also available was a Thai soup. I believe it was a tom yum, although I'm not 100% sure on that. Over to the side, you had some prawns and salad to add the soup to, as well as the chicken rice condiments, which were garlic, dark soy sauce, cucumber, and chili sauce. Moving further around the table, I saw that they had some pork barbecue ribs, which actually smelled pretty good, some stir-fried vegetables. They also had a Western option of pasta and chicken. You could also select some cheese, as well as having a make-your-own salad section, which was a Caesar salad, although the salad on choice wasn't really conducive to making a Caesar salad. By the hot section, they had various spring rolls and pastries, and also a little dim sum counter. I didn't try the dim sum as it looked like it had been sitting there for a while. Over here, you have a selection of Thai desserts. Thailand is not known for its desserts, but they weren't bad. There was some more sandwiches, as well as some iced tea and iced water dispenser. The tap, unfortunately, was broken. Into the drink section, you had a wide variety of soft drinks, a few beers, and of course, those fresh baby coconuts that the lounge is famous for. If you so desired, there was a coffee machine. I didn't partake as it was pretty late, but it's there if you need it. They also had an ice cream fridge with Häagen-Dazs ice cream available. There was also a second brand, but I wasn't familiar with it. Just across from the food section was the bar, where you could order custom-made cocktails or just get a glass of wine or champagne to go with your food. Also available was a pad thai section. I had to try this. This is Thailand's national dish, and this looked really good. Just tucked off to the side, the lounge also had a self-pouring beer machine. All you had to do was put one of the chilled mugs in the machine and it would pour you either an Asahi or a Singer. I went over to check for cocktails and saw that they had a James Bond vodka martini available, as well as a number of white wines, red wines, and a champagne. You could either help yourself or ask the staff to serve you. I decided to get one of the fresh young coconuts, well, as a Coke Zero. You'll have to trust me, it's Coke Zero. I also went for a few of the barbecue pork ribs and some cheese. I'm not going to lie, the pork ribs were a little bit disappointing. There was barely any meat on them, and the sauce was a little bit overpowering. The young coconut, on the other hand, was absolutely perfect. Chilled, refreshing, and had soft coconut meat that you could scoop out with a spoon if you wanted. Next, I tried the Singapore chicken rice. As I mentioned earlier, this is way better than it looks. It looks like plain chicken and plain rice, but it's not. I don't know what they do to it, but the rice was some of the most fragrant I've ever eaten. Honestly, you could have eaten that rice by itself. And the chicken, together with the accompaniments, delicious. I also had a small portion of a prawn pad thai. This was very well done and had a delicious tamarind kick to it. I didn't get much, as I wasn't that hungry by this point. Thankfully, as the earlier Singapore Airlines flight had now departed, the lounge began to clear up, and so I decided to take a look around. Over to the back, there is ample seating provided. notwithstanding that it did get quite crowded when I first arrived. Moving over here, you can see where I was sat in the side table area. Provided next to each seat was a power socket, both a British-style socket as well as a USB-A type charger. This is really handy for charging your devices before your flight. Tea-wise, the lounge provides TWG tea, which is a high-quality Asian brand of tea. Not the best, but very respectable. If you want to get some work done, they also had this table set out. Not many people were using it for work. It was mostly used as an overspill for the rest of the lounge when it got too busy. The lounge also featured various cookies, nuts, and spiced Thai nuts if you fancied a small snack as well. Just wandering over to this area to show you, you can see that the lounge looks out over the general departure gate area, although due to the frosted windows, you can't see very much of it. Helpfully, the lounge also features its own display board so that you can see where any flight that you might be taking is heading off. Another thing that was particularly helpful in this lounge is that prior to each Singapore Airlines flight departing, a friendly staff member went by with a sign to inform passengers and make sure they made their way to the gate on time. Very helpful. Finally, in the back of the lounge, there were these private pods to get some work done. These resemble a plane seat in a way, and were quite useful, although there were only about 4 or 5 of them, and this was the only one that was spare. Overall, I was quite impressed with the Singapore Airlines lounge. It's got solid food and drink available, plenty of seating, and had a light, vibrant atmosphere. If I could make one criticism of it, it would simply be that it was a little bit too small. Between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night, 4 separate Singapore Airlines flights depart from Bangkok, and therefore the lounge could get a little bit crowded, particularly as people made their way over to the lounge early due to Bangkok's unpredictable traffic. That said, this is a great place to spend a little hour or two before your flight.